Okay, so I just need to okay, all right, so first we're gonna start with learning and identifying all the parts of the guitar so you can set a flat like this. All right, so we're gonna start here. This is the headstock, but also sometimes people call it the peg head, and it holds all of the tuning pegs for our strings so that we can tune it properly. What is it called?
Peg head.
Yeah, it is. Woohoo. Okay, so now we're gonna look at the pegs. So the pegs hold the string on one end and keep it tight, because if there's not enough slack in the strings, then it's not going to be resonant enough and it's not going to play right. And if it's too tense, you can break the string. So this is what we use to tune it properly and make a really awesome sound. So what's that called?
These are the pegs.
Yes, they are. Okay, so now we have this part. It just kind of holds the strings in place, and it's called the nut. So yeah, that's great. And that brings us to the neck. So we have the headstock, and now we have the neck of the guitar, and that's where the majority of the string covers. And then we also have the frets, which are what we use to change the pitch, and the strings are what we use to produce the sound. So go ahead and play with that and make noises and play with the frets and strings. Try pushing stuff down, moving notes, just doing random things. Make noise with it. Yes, precisely like that. And then there are various position markers on the guitar, and they look different. So on mine it looks like this, but on yours it's in the form of dots. On most guitars it's the form of dots. I think mine is just strange. And now we're gonna move to the body of the guitar, which is the biggest section of the guitar. Okay, so the waist right here is so that when we sit like this and are in the position to play the guitar, it fits well and we have a place to rest our arm. And then we have the sound hole, which mine is covered by a feedback buster, but the sound hole is responsible for the resonance of the sound that the strings make. And sometimes the sound hole in like technical settings can cause feedback, and it's really ugly, so I have a feedback buster on mine, but it doesn't affect the sound that the strings make, which is really strange, but it doesn't. And then most guitars have like a round thing, like a design around the sound hole of the guitar, and that's called the rosette.
Oh.
Yes. And then we have the pick guard down here, which prevents like the scratching on the actual wood of the guitar whenever we're strumming or picking. And then we have the saddle here, which is kind of like the nut up here. It's kind of like the nut's cousin, and it holds the guitar strings in place, yes. And then right here is the bridge, and that's where the other strings are held. And you don't see them on my guitar because I think the pins are like inner, but on yours you have pins, which are right here on the top.
Yeah.
The top section, and that's where the other string, like the other end of the string, is held to create that tension. So like just like the pegs hold one side of the string, the pegs or the pins hold the other side. So now I'm going to quiz you on all of the parts of the guitar and see how well you remember them.
Okay.
Okay, so let's start here.
The pick guard.
Yes.
That's the sound hole. And that's the rosette. The bridge. Oh, you just said it. The pins.
Yes.
The saddle. And that's the saddle's cousin, the nut.
Yes. These are.
The strings.
And these are.
The frets.
And this is together is one.
Oh, the peg head or.
Yeah. Peg head, headstock. Okay.
Headstock.
And these are.
The pegs.
Yes. You got it. Good job. Okay. So now we're going to look specifically at the strings and the frets.
Okay.
So each string, when played without touching any of the frets, corresponds with its own note. And so from thickest string to thinnest string, it goes E. So you can go ahead and play an E. And then it goes to A. Then we have have D, G, B, E. So obviously the thinnest string produces the highest open pitch, which is that high E, and then the thickest string produces the lowest open pitch, which is that low E, but they're both E. So in that we have open notes, and each fret that we have right here moves the note up a half step when we apply pressure to the string within the area of that fret. So if I am playing this note, what is this note?
That's an E.
And I do this.
F. And F sharp.
And this is
G.
So you want to try that?
Okay.
Okay, so play an E. And then an F sharp. Or then an F sharp. Yeah. And then a G. Yes. So E, F natural, F sharp, and then G. Awesome. Okay. So, and you can do the same thing when it comes to the other strings. It just brings it up a half step again with any of those strings that's applicable. And it's the exact same, just higher on the bottom, or this bottom string right here. So, they're the exact same thing. So, just keep that in mind. So, the sound production of the guitar is actually produced by the vibration of the string, and then the pitch is produced by finger pressure. So, as far as position goes and posture, we want to sit up when we're holding our guitars. And you can find a comfortable place for your arms to rest right here before we get to the waist of the guitar. And right here, this should be on your thigh, and it can be held straight up. And then you should have a comfortable, like you should have some slack in your wrist, and should be able to strum comfortably or pick comfortably, whichever one. And then when it comes to actually playing notes and chords on here, it's really important that we apply pressure to the back of the neck with our thumb. So if I just apply pressure here and I'm not applying any pressure that counteracts it, then I'm going to push forward or push back. So it's important to make sure that when we're playing chords or notes that we're applying equal pressure from both sides of the neck. Now we're going to learn a few chords.
Oh my gosh.
I know. Okay, so we're going to start with a D chord.
Okay.
All right? So you're going to take your pointer finger first. Make sure that your thumb just kind of rests, and your thumb can move up and down the neck, of course, as you move. But you're going to want to take your pointer finger right here, and it's going to go on, we're going to call the thinnest string, string 1. This is going to be 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, going upward. So you're going to go to string 3 in the 2nd fret and push that down. And then you're going to go to string 1 in the 2nd fret and push that down. And then you're going to take your 4th finger in the 3rd fret and push that down. And then go ahead and give it a strum. And see what happens.
All of the strings?
Yes, strum all of the strings.
Okay.
Okay, so you have a little bit of a muting going on right here with the last string. That's a really common issue when it comes to playing chords. So make sure that your hand is a little more rounded. And that's going to prevent you from muting any other strings, because if our hand's flat like this, then we're just going to mute it. So it's important that when you're applying that pressure, that you keep your hand rounded. So give that a try. You're going to try it with a pick. It might be a little bit more resonant with the pick. You got it?
Oh, they're so close
You got it.
together.
They are so close together. All right, you got it. Okay, you're almost there. Yep. You got it. Yay. Okay, so the next chord that we're going to move to is an A chord. So you're going to start with your 4th finger this time, and all of your fingers are going to fit into the 2nd fret for this chord. So you're going to start with the 2nd string in the 2nd fret, and then 3rd on 3rd, and then 2nd on the 4th. And they just kind of all move, they all fit diagonally like this.
So it's okay if I'm not totally close to the fret?
It's you don't have to be on the fret. It's more about being in between those frets.
Okay.
Good. That one sounded really good. Okay, so now let's go back to the D finger position without strumming. Just the D finger position, and I'll move to the A from there.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, ready?
Yep.
D, A.
Perfect. So you don't have to actually do, a lot of these chords are designed in a way that there's not actually that much hand movement that goes on, but it's more about just being able to like change your finger position really quickly, but you're not actually moving your hand all that much. So going from D, and then to A. So try strumming D. Try strumming D for a bit. Yep. All right. We're gonna go. We're gonna do this for a while, and then we're gonna move to A. Ready? And we're gonna move to A now. Now we're gonna move back to D. And you got it.
I did it.
Yes, you're doing it. Good job. Okay, awesome. So now we're gonna look at the G chord.
Okay.
Which your hands are gonna be a little more spread for this one. So you're gonna start by taking your fourth finger, and we're gonna put it on the first string in the third fret. Now you're gonna take your third finger and you're gonna go all the way up to the sixth string, but in the same fret. So it looks kind of strange and feels kind of weird. And then you're gonna take this finger right here, and you're gonna put it on the fifth string and then the second fret. See? Muting is a common problem. So especially with chords where you're spread out like this. Boom. Just try and make sure you're getting a resonant sound from every single string.
Oh, just hit it. Okay.
You got it. Okay. So let's play that a little bit. Let's just play it a little bit. Alright, cool. So now we're gonna go from D. We're gonna strum on D for a little bit. We're gonna go back to that. And we're gonna go to A, and then we're gonna go to G. But first, let's practice moving finger positions so that we feel a little bit more comfortable with moving as quickly as we do. So we're in the D finger position. Yep. All right, now move to A. All right, and now think about the best way to move to G and move there. You got it.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. So now I'm gonna teach you 2 more chords, but first, we're going to strum D, A, and G, moving to that, okay? So we're gonna we'll strum on D for 4, and then A for 4, and then G for 4, just all in quarter notes, okay?
Okay.
Here we go. 1, 2, ready, and. You got it? Yeah, you got it. All right, so now what we're gonna do is I want you to try going from G to D. Because you know going A to G, what that kind of feels like now. So now practice going from G to D. Just try that finger position.
G.
Practice that first. Make sure you feel comfortable with it. It feels kind of weird at first.
G to D.
G.
Oh my gosh, this
G
is
to D. Yep, you got it.
Okay.
All right, so now strum G for as many beats as you feel, and then move to the D and strum on that.
Okay, ready? Here we go. Oh!
You got it. You're so close.
Okay.
Just make sure on this bottom string right here, you're getting that.
Yeah.
That's the only one you need to make sure you're getting. But the rest of them sound very resonant.
Okay.
It's okay. So let's practice moving it slowly.
Okay.
So let's go from here. So now the best way to move is you take this and just move it up 1, and then bring both fingers over here.
Oh, okay, wait.
And it happens way faster than I just said it. It's just something that like quickly occurs.
Oh.
Yeah, so you're gonna move up and over really fast. So like,
Okay, wait.
so if you watch me do it, it looks like this. So sometimes I move this one first, and sometimes I move this finger first. Like, but I think of it as in like being 2 parts in the 2 different frets.
Yeah.
So like, so it's all about getting that placement first. And if you can get your footing right here, then you're gonna know to push down on that too. Because you can use this as a guide and say, okay, there, I have it. Okay, so let's start with the D. We'll go to A, then we'll go to G, and we'll go back to D. So we'll do 8 beats on each chord. Okay? Let's do it. All right, 1, 2, ready, and. Oh, let's adjust.
I don't know what happened.
That's okay. Make sure you're not, so if you're on the fret, sometimes it'll mute it. So the goal is not to be on the fret. The frets are just guides within the note areas.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Okay.
1, 2, ready, and. 4, 5, 6, move to A. 4, 5, 6, move to G. Yeah. Back to D. You got it. Good job. Okay. So now that you know these 3 chords, I'm actually gonna stop there because we're gonna learn the intro to Drops of Jupiter by Train. Okay.
Okay.
You know all the chords to make it happen, but the important thing now is rhythm and strumming.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of acoustic guitar is about being rhythmic. Like you often think of acoustic guitars being played like around a campfire, you know, like somebody's just like out there cooling and they're like strumming, they're doing whatever. It's not like electric guitar, which is like a lot of time for embellishment. So you really got to carry the sound. So it's all about how you strum, even more so than just the chords you're playing.
Mm-hmm.
So we just did quarter notes. So you can strum up and down. So strum up and down, pick a chord that you like, and just kind of strum up and down on that and see what it feels like. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Yes. So if we kind of think about the song Drops of Jupiter, it's kind of like da, da, da.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? It kind of swings a little bit. So we're going to be thinking in terms of, so I'm going to demonstrate and then we'll do it together. So it's going to sound kind of like. Okay? And it's easier than you think it is. I know, it sounds like it's really difficult. But you're just going, bum, bum, bum. So do that.
Wait. Start over.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here, do it without strumming first and just ghost strum. So you're gonna go down, 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 up, down,
Okay.
down, 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 down. Yeah? Okay, so now try strumming that.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're gonna go. Check your chord. Check how rounded you are. Make sure you're not muting any strings that you don't need to mute. Right? Cool. So, to transition, we're gonna go. Same position. So it's the same strumming pattern for every chord.
Okay.
Just getting to the chord is super important, but it's gonna sound really awesome. Okay, ready?
Okay.
So let's try moving from the D to the A to the G. Okay?
Okay.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's okay. Here, we can go slower.
Okay.
That'll be easier to transition. So down, 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 down. Yeah? If you I literally think that in my head sometimes when I'm starting this out.
Okay.
So 1, 2, ready, and yeah? You got it? Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
So here's the one thing to note on the G for the intro, you're gonna stay on it twice as long. So you're gonna go down, 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 up, down, 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 down.
Okay, yeah.
Before you move back to the D, because that's just how the song goes. But yeah, so let's give it a try again. Let's just do it again. So check your position. All right, we're gonna take it pretty slow, just to make sure you get all the transitions, then we can speed up. Okay, 1, 2, ready, and down, down, whole intro.
Wow.
And it's
Okay.
also the chords for the verse. So you basically know the intro and the verse now. So let's play a little faster and see how it goes. Ready?
Okay.
You're doing awesome. So just take a breather. It's all good. You're doing great. 1, 2, ready, and. You got it. Do it again. Yeah, you got it. Stop on the steep. You got it. You did it. Good job.
Thank you.